And suddenly he told me that the night before he had sex with a guy he started talking to 2 days ago to make everything even better. He had more enjoyment doing it with him than in the whole 2 years with me.
Reddit stories.
Help coping with being cheated on. I, 32, have been in a relationship with my ex, 26, for the past 2 years. As many other relationships, it wasn't always easy and had its ups and downs. But it was fulfilling, and I thought that we were both trying to make it work. That's what we both wanted, to be together. Around last April and May we began to discuss more often. He was facing a new phase of his life. Being done with studies, starting his first job. Being able to go out with friends more after the lockdown. He began being more stressed and scared of the adult life and vent off on me his frustrations. In May things ended with him breaking up with me, saying that he felt that, even if feelings were still present, he wanted to be alone and learn to stand on his own feet. That has to take care of his things without the responsibilities of a relationship. It was painful, but understandable. I also wanted him to find how to be happy with himself. I spent the following month working on myself. And at a point I wrote him, I know it was probably an egoist move, but I still loved him. I wanted to hear how things were for him and what his thoughts were after that time. This led back to us getting in contact, and I don't know if I can say get back together. We began talking, dating, get intimate. To avoid the pressure of the previous time, we decided to take things as they come, without worrying much about how to define us, basically behaving like a couple. And the last 2 months were being nice. For the last 2 weeks, I have been in my hometown visiting my family. Things were going nicely till one day last week. He told me that he kept fantasizing about experimenting with other people. He wanted to be free to have his own carefree experience. This has been a thing that came out multiple times in the past years. He basically moved from one relationship to another, and never had the experience of being alone and explore part of his sexual life. Part of him always thinking he was missing out. He wished that we could sort we out in the future, but that at the moment he needed to do this. Hoped I was on the same wavelength and asked me if I wanted to be part of this exploration period, as in have some experiences together and each other on our own and share and talk about it. I couldn't. We had a discussion. I told him that I am not interested in other people, and that, considered my feelings for him, couldn't be close to him while he played around with others. So the only thing I could do was leave and give him the space and freedom he wanted. He told me that we would talk about it when I'd be back from my family visit. I came back 2 days ago and we talked. From the start, he blamed me for getting back in his life after the breakup. I told him that I was ready to accept that we tried and it didn't work out, and the best thing to do separate again. He said that losing me again would have been the greatest pain in his life again. I tried to talk about other options, that if he wanted me he then should focus on our relationship instead of thinking about others. We ended in a loop in which no one wanted to finalize the break, and we started circling about the topic. This has happened every time we had a fight and talked about breakup. I in the past. And suddenly he told me that the night before he had sex with a guy. He started talking to 2 days ago to make everything even better. He had more enjoyment doing it with him than in the whole 2 years with me. And that he was afraid he could fall in love with him with this guy as it happened with me when we first started dating. I was devastated. The words hurted even more than the act. The idea that he valued a thing with a guy he just met more than our relationship broke me. I trusted him and never thought he could do something like that. I tried to confront him and he justified himself saying that he told me in the message a few days before he was gonna do it. Telling me you decided to meet other people don't imply that you will do it 1 day later, before we even had the chance to talk. I told him he could have waited at least till I was back so we could close things between us properly. And he said he had to do it before because I knew that if we met and talk when I was back we would end up to not break up. And he wanted to get out of that loop. Now, I am trying to process this whole thing. It hurts. The trust I had in him is shattered and I see him as a different person from the one I know. In the past 2 years I always seen and loved the good in him. And I was proud of him for working through his problems and insecurities to bring the best of himself out. Now I can't look at him the same way. He did the one things he knew would hurt me the most. He did it deliberately. Yesterday my head was exploding. I was talking with some friends and most of them think that this thing with this other guy is a lie. He once said something similar when we were reconnecting after the breakup to see how I would have reacted. But honestly, even if, in case it was a lie, I would feel somehow better, it wouldn't matter. He decided to use the one thing I always told me would hurt me the most to inflict me pain. I can't go past the fact he decided to inflict that pain to me. After that fight, I told him I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. I feel like an hypocrite as part of me now want to call him again and ask for explanation. Why he did that, how could he, if it was true? But I am aware that with the trust broken I will never be sure if what he'd say is true. I know the next weeks will be hard. I'll try to focus on work on myself. Hopefully learning from this experience, but it hurts a lot.
Reddit stories. He showed you who he is. Take his actions as an answer. There's some grieving to go through on your end, grieving of the relationship you wanted or relationship you had. Definitely stay no contact. You didn't cause it, you can't control it, you can't cure it for him. You deserve so much better for yourself. Holding on to your regrets and anger and his words will do you no good. Nurture your sweet soul and try to let go, for you. Way easier said than done. Reddit stories.
Looking for an explanation isn't going to make anything better. Just know it's nothing you did. It's 100% on them. They made the selfish choice. The story they tell is either to put blame on you or someone or thing else. Not many cheaters talk responsibility for their choices. Hang with friends, get a new hobby, keep yourself busy. Best of luck to you.
Reddit stories.